This episode of More Stories is sponsored by Nature Box. Order great tasting healthy snacks right to your door. Forget the vending machine and get in shape for summer with healthy, delicious treats like everything bagel sticks. Support this podcast and get 50% off your first month. Go to naturebox.com/more. That's naturebox.com/more.
Hello, podcast fans. Adam Carolla here. I'm leading the fight against patent trolls who are threatening this medium. It's not about me. It's about the podcast you're listening to right now. If I go down, this show could be next. Visit fundanything.com/patent troll for more information on how you can keep podcasting alive. Thank you and mahalo.
When shopping for car insurance, consider this. Geico has been saving people money on car insurance for over 75 years. So if you're serious about savings, it's simple. Go to geico.com. After 75 years, they know how to save you money.
Put your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
Well, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
How the fuck you gonna know how to be great if you don't study greatness? Look at the game change.
Donuts.
If you want a battle, it's either that you will or you won't.
You know, you're not a bad-looking man, Mr. Gals.
But you are, Blanche. You are in that chair.
There's something wrong with us. Something very, very wrong with us.
Hey, man!
Shall we?
Welcome to Jay Mohr Stories.
More.
Today, we're going to do more stories from Jay, and Eddie's going to listen.
Eddie Ifft is the guest on More Stories, and he's out of breath because he decided to use his time in the Fake Mustache Studios doing some kettlebells and didn't realize he was going to have to talk for an hour afterwards.
I'm better. I'm recovered.
You got quick recovery time.
Yeah.
Well done, sir.
It's the HGH.
What was that exercise you were doing, Ed?
Those were just kettlebell snatches.
Snatch.
Well,
you called it something with Turkish in the title.
Oh, no, there's a Turkish get-up. Those are hard.
Turkish get-up. These all sound like gay movies.
Yeah, they are.
Kettlebell snatch, Turkish get-up.
It's the most homoerotic thing in the world.
You get another guy to just rub tanning lotion all over your body.
Look at another guy's body and tell them how good it is.
Or poor. Or what he needs to work on.
Yeah.
I like you, but your pecs, they didn't really turn me on.
Feel the muscles. This is where it needs to be.
Yeah, why don't? That's a good point, though. On those like Mr. USA, Mr. Olympia stuff, why don't they actually go up and like feel the muscles?
It's a good point because I guess if they look like that, they're tight. It's all aesthetics.
Those
guys aren't about strength.
They're not.
No, they are strong as hell. If you're that big, and that bulky, you're strong as hell. Those guys are monsters. They have no mobility.
Yeah, they're structurally unsound. I think. I think FEMA would shut them down. It's not a good building.
Right. It's not healthy. Life's not going to be good.
Eddie Ifft is healthy. You're like a crazy cross trainer. You have the Wadcast podcast, which is the Wadcast, and that's all about cross training. I didn't know what WAD was. What's it stand
originally,
for?
I've been doing that stuff, that culty stuff, CrossFit for like 5 years or something. And originally it was like a cynical look at CrossFit. It was just me. The guy on the show that I do it with calls me a balloon popper, which I really like because I'm too cynical. And but it's turned in, the show's developed so much, it's really turned into like a rah-rah CrossFit show. So I still come on and kind of pop the balloons.
What balloons do you pop? What do you mean? Like
I don't know. It's just, I don't like when people get all too into something. It's a very obsessive compulsive sport. People that are just freaks. And so, they all follow these rules. Do you know, you don't know about it? It's weird. Like guys take their shirts off to work out. The whole class will take their shirts off and work out together.
Sounds hot.
Yeah, exactly.
What does WAD stand?
And then the circle jerk, and you got to keep eye contact. And
yeah, well, that's rule number one of a circle jerk. If you have a circle jerk and you're not
keeping WAD that you should know.
If you're not keeping eye contact, you're not in a circle jerk. You must maintain eye contact with the man sitting directly across from you in a circle jerk. Don't turn your head. That's how accidents happen. That's how you lose an eye. What does WAD stand for?
Workout of the day.
Workout of the day. And you have a Wadcast podcast.
Yes.
So do you do how often is the podcast
Once
up?
a week.
So you do a workout of the day once every 7 days?
No, we bring on top CrossFit professionals and talk to them and kind of make fun of them.
I'll be a balloon popper.
Yeah, come on.
This sounds like the boringest thing I could possibly listen to.
Probably.
What makes it
if you're into CrossFit. If you don't like CrossFit, don't listen to the show. You have to like CrossFit.
We were talking earlier about how to get certain drugs out of your system, and Eddie Ifft, you were like an encyclopedia of how to get everything out of your system. I said, well, how do you get like pot out of your system? And Eddie goes, I'll have an answer for you in 1 minute. He texts a friend. Read that text.
Here, if you need to get pot out of your system, here's how you do it.
This is fantastic.
Let's find out. Write to me if I'm wrong, but niacin. Have to take with food and drink a ton of water or you'll feel like you will spontaneously combust. And then he said, for you, amigo? And he said, when you get time, give me a buzz. I'm free at 2.
So you text him because I asked you just off the cuff, like, how do people like get pot out of their system? You text this friend of yours who will remain anonymous, but he's a world-class athlete. And then he texts you back. He now thinks that you have to get pot out of your system for some comedian job. Like
but I did smoke pot last week. And I don't need to get it out of my system. I don't smoke ever. And I did Getting Dug with High, that show.
Yeah.
And it was horrible. I had a panic attack in the middle of it.
Yeah, because there's a crowd sitting right there.
No, there's people watching, like executives.
This is Doug Benson's podcast where you smoke a joint and then you just sit there and you have the whole podcast when you're baked out of your face.
And everybody's watching.
It's a great concept, but I always thought the fatal flaw of the podcast was you should get high if you're smoking during it. I don't get high until the drive home when my world's caving in on me.
I got high instantly. It took 5 seconds after I took a hit, and I went, "Oh, here we go." And because I don't really
ride
like
the
it.
snake.
And I'm the kind of guy that at a certain point I look at the person that gave it to me and I go, "Make it stop now. We have to stop this."
Do you remember what you guys spoke about?
No, and all I remember is thinking so paranoid. I'm like, no, I'm not funny.
Sorry, I'm real quick. No, I just an emphatic no clue.
I was the whole time I was upset because I felt like I was in my own world and people were staring at me and I was holding my breath. I didn't realize somebody wrote in there like, you need to breathe.
People are tweeting you how to be high better.
Yeah.
Bro, you need to breathe. You're doing yoga.
So then I went home and I wanted it to stop and it wouldn't stop. So I went surfing thinking, I surf with a bunch of potheads and they always surf high. And I'm like, maybe it'll be enjoyable or it'll wear off. Because I used to run when I was drunk to get rid of my drunk feelings. And I go surfing. Sure enough, I hit my head on the bottom of the ocean. And now I got these horrible back pains.
So you surfed baked, which most people would think would be like paradise. Like if I'm going to go surf, I would think smoking pot and surfing would be the absolute
but it threw off all my timing, So I was surfing a quick wave, and it was like I couldn't. It was just imagine if you don't get high and you do stand up high. I did it once. Chappelle and I got high way back when. He took me in the back room of the Carolines. Remember the fire escape? I got high. I went out on stage. And I bombed like I'd never bombed in my life. I was doing segues. I wouldn't finish the joke. I would move on to the next segue because I was like, this isn't going to work. And then Chappelle just smashed it. And I asked him afterwards, I'm like, how do you do that? And he's like, lots of practice.
Lots of practice, man.
Yeah.
I got high at the Tempe Improv. There was that upstairs.
Which one?
Tempe Improv.
Yeah.
There was an upstairs dressing room.
The one you're not allowed to drink on stage? You know that law?
That's a new owner, and that's a very good point. It went out of business, and the guy actually went missing.
Oh, that was creepy.
Yeah, it was very creepy. But it used to be a place where you could just drink your balls off and smoke a ton of pot in the green room. And there was this little James Brown doll where you press the button and it goes, I feel good, and it dances, and you would set it next to somebody so that when it ended, James Brown would turn his head and look at the person baked, and they're like, wow, this is the most amazing green room ever. And we smoked pot, and there were two major leaguers. They don't play anymore, so I can drop their name. It was Jeff Jenkins and Richie Sexton, and we're all smoking from the Brewers, and we're smoking pot. But I remember I was so paranoid that these guys were going to get busted for pot in Major League Baseball that when I hit the joint, I would set it down in the ashtray because I was never going to have them be able to say, he handed it to me.
Right.
So, like, if you want it, it's there, but I'm not going to actually hand you the joint.
Because you were that paranoid.
I was that paranoid already. So we get super baked, and I go on stage way fucking too high to do stand-up comedy. And I remembered it at the moment I hit the stage. Before you hit the stage, you get that panic, like, how am I supposed to talk for an hour? I'm so high. So I realized none of my bits, like you said, the timing was so completely off. And what I did was I made believe I was on Broadway. And
you're doing a show where you had to pace yourself. And
yeah, and I
deliver
just told
lines.
stories about my childhood, and I got a standing ovation. I still have no idea what I said.
Maybe you should do that all the time.
Yeah, I don't think that would probably work well.
Jim Jeffries and I used to talk about it, where we said that some of our best shows were drunk, like shit-faced drunk. I have done shows that I'm most proud of, like where just the roof went off the place, where I did things I never would have, because all your inhibitions go away.
Yeah,
and you say things you'd never say, you do things you'd never do, and I try not to do that. Like I probably will have like one drink a night now, but some of those shows, and maybe it was just I believed it was going that well. That's probably how it was, seeing where my career is. But
well, no, I think your career is going well because you're one of the few guys that go to Australia and make like $1 million being in Australia for 30 days. I once had a psychic on the podcast, Bill Phillips, and he said to me, "What's the thing with you in Australia?" And he just kept coming back to Australia. I'm like, bro, I'm not going to Australia. He was right on everything else he hit.
You will. You'll end up there.
And I'll go, oh my God, it only took 30 years.
I just did India. I went to India and did shows. Not Indiana, India.
At like, what, Uncle Hemmel's Chuckle Hut?
No, I did fucking 5,000-seat theaters.
In India?
In India.
Was it expats or Indians?
It was Indians.
And they were fired up?
It was dot, not feather Indians. It was the most fucked up experience of my life. My agent called me and goes, "They want you in India." And I went, "What?" He goes, "I just got this call to send you." He goes, and at the time, I'm done. I'm so sick of traveling. I'm so sick of like, I look at it when Seinfeld bitches about how much stand-up he did in his career. I'm like, dude, you had 8 years of a break. Like, I've gone all the way through for the last 18 years, every day of my life. I've never had another job. I've never gotten to take a break. I'm on the road almost every single night of my life for the last 18 years. And so when I get a call to go to India, I'm not excited. And I was just like, no. And then my wife was like, well, don't be an idiot. Find out how much. So he goes, name your price. So I named it.
$15 million.
And they said yes.
15 million rubles.
They said yes.
Rupees.
And I went, I should ask for more. Yeah. And then I said, well, I need 2 first-class tickets for me and my wife. I need this. And they were like, yeah, no problem. So we went, and it was so shady leading up to it. I just emailed, never a phone call with the people, just these emails. Then I was like, who's meeting us at the airport? No one met us. Finally, a guy comes
in India. That's scary. Like when you fly to Michigan, you have baggage claim going, where the fuck is my guy?
Yeah. And Dr. Drew was like, you need to go get your vaccinations now. And I was like, why? He's like, they have diseases there that if you get, you can't come back.
Yeah, you'll be on like Monsters Inside Me.
Yeah, I was like, well, then what? He goes, you're Indian. Like, so.
Yeah, you swim in like the Ganges River and like a tapeworm swims into your dick hole
and
roots behind your eye and has babies.
There's a thing, just look up images from India. It's like, it was a thing that was like going around on the internet, like a viral video or something. It's just dead bodies floating down the Ganges River.
And they're bathing in it.
Yeah, it's disgusting. So I go and get all these vaccines, and there were like hundreds. And I ended up like opting out. I was like, I'll take that one. It was like I got to choose. I was like I'll try
cafeteria.
That. It was horrible. So I got all these shots.
Ooh, look at lupus in the back. Let's have some of that.
I think the typhoid one made me sick. So I show up in India. I didn't take the malaria, so I'm afraid of mosquitoes. I'm terrified of every little. I'm like, fuck.
And I know you pretty well, and you're high strung. I think that's safe to say. So to be in another country with Eddie Ifft with a fear of mosquitoes, probably not very fun for the wife.
And I've got a wife there who's a blonde who they keep telling me, oh, they're going to want to rape your wife. Everyone's like, they're going to want to.
Sounds like a great gig.
Yeah, they have a 90% acquittal rate on rape. So like a lot of times the woman gets blamed. Everybody's like, just keep an eye on your wife. Just keep an eye on my wife. I wouldn't let her like. I held on to her. I'm like, you're not walking away from me. Then we get there, and if you've never had diarrhea, go to India. It's
if you're constipated,
you will
if you're having problems with your probiotics.
You'll have diarrhea like you've never had.
Really? What causes it?
Unbelievable. Apparently, it's like the cultures. It's just like Mexicans can drink their own water, but we can't drink it.
Right.
Well, it's the same thing with India. They've got cultures in their
You
food.
drank the water.
No, I never. I brush my teeth with
when I go to Mexico,
water.
I'm not making a joke. I even shower with my eyes closed. I don't want anything going in like any of my holes.
Yeah, they told us that. And we were staying in 5-star hotels. But it was the weirdest part is it's the most famous I've ever felt in my life. When I left, I think it was New Delhi or Bangalore. When I left the venue to go out to the van that was taking us back to the hotel, or like it was a minibus, they had to have security surround us, like we were in sync or a boy band or something, and
or a cow.
And they were like, yeah, exactly, even more sacred. They were like, on 3, are you ready? And we're like, what? They're like, get your ready? And they're like, 1, 2, 3. And the security went out through the crowd and ran us to our bus. And I'm like, stop this. It's me.
But why didn't you?
Like, this is unnecessary.
Why not like a meet and greet? Why not feel?
We did
people...
a meet and greet because they have like a total cast system there where this was funny. At the one venue, all the shows sold out except for this one show. And the tickets were like tiered. So, really expensive seats up front, and then next. So the whole back of the theater's filled, and then the whole front was VIPs. And then there's this band of like row of 20 rows empty.
Too expensive.
So we said, move the people up. And they're like, no. They did not buy those tickets. So I'm like, we're talking to this crowd, then yelling over a river of empty seats to this crowd. I'm like, you want a good show? Just fucking move them up. And they're like, no, can't do.
Don't break protocol.
Yeah. It was terrible. I saw shit of it. I saw a guy taking a shit in the street with a dog eating it out of his asshole. Yeah. I took a picture of it.
Is it on your Instagram?
Yeah, I think it is. I took an Instagram.
What is your Instagram?
I took an Instagram of this is. And this, I didn't see this just one. This was like enough
Instagram
that I
J
could
Mohr
get.
Sports. If he's not going to give his, I'll
at
get mine.
Eddie Ifft.
There you go.
But I saw, there would be like guys driving motorcycles down the street. And
By the way, real quick, when Eddie did guys driving motorcycles, he moved his arms like he was jogging.
Yeah, guys driving driving a car. By the way, I drove a car.
Yeah.
Guy driving a motorcycle down the street with his wife on the motorcycle. Okay, and his 2 kids on the motorcycle. The father's the only one with a helmet on.
Yeah, he knows what's up. Ass, grass, or gas. Nobody rides for free. Look, and I'm all out of grass.
But the wife's like side saddle. The one kid's facing him. The other kid's facing the other way. And they've just found a way. It's like a clown motorcycle. They found a way to get as many people on as possible.
What was the room? Like, was it a theater?
First one was a theater in Mumbai.
And was it you only?
No, it was me and a group of comedians that they booked. And one of them was Paul Varghese, who's an Indian. And I'm like, no
Paul.
fair. They're bringing in a
lot of like
ringer.
music cues in his act.
I don't think he did. He didn't.
I'm thinking of Paul Varghese. Never mind.
He was a ringer. I'm like, this isn't fair.
Oh, Paul Varghese. Yeah. He's an actual Indian person.
He's a funny guy. And I'm like, no, you can't come with us.
Whites only.
Yeah. And it was.
That's why you play Australia.
Yeah, but Australia, there's so many of me there now. I look like an Aussie. I look just like, I fit right in.
What does an Aussie look like?
Just like me. Typical white guy. Average.
Go to jmohr.com, click the Amazon banner, and I will read on this podcast what you bought. This person, Brad Geisler. First off, I just want to say I'm a huge fan of your podcast. I've listened since day one, man. Parentheses, Barry Katz. Barry's like a star from this podcast. He's
great.
And you love his podcast.
I asked him to do mine, and he ignored me. Didn't even write back.
I must have had my phone on vibrate very quietly, man. Just want to say I'm a huge fan of your podcast. I've listened since day one, man. Parentheses, Barry Katz. Your podcast got me through some tough times when I was living in New Zealand. But now that I am back in the U.S., I'm looking to get fit again. I purchased, using your Amazon banner at jmohr.com, a Samsung Gear... Oh, okay, you can play Balloon Popper now. A Samsung Gear 2 Neo smartwatch. What is a smartwatch, you ask? Just think of 007 and his gadgets. That might be a slight overstatement. I will use this with my DDP yoga workout sessions as it has a... I lost 14 pounds on DDP yoga, man. What are you talking about? Let me finish his email. As it has a built... get a what?
Get a kettlebell.
As it has a built-in heart rate monitor. I also picked up a Tune Belt armband for my Note 3 phone, where when I want to listen to music while running. Thank you so much for the podcast that you provide with more stories. I look forward to many more heart-to-heart conversations with the undeniable Barry Katz, or just another crazy laugh fest with John DiMaggio. Gotta let my jizz spell. Sign Brad Geisler. Well, how about this, Brad? Eddie, first of all, Brad, thank you. And anybody wants to buy anything on Amazon, don't go to Amazon.com. Go to jmoore.com. Click the Amazon banner. It's easier that way. It doesn't cost you anything. How about this, Brad? Eddie Ifft just said he saw a guy taking shit in the street and a dog eating shit out of his ass.
You thought you were depressed in New Zealand. I don't blame him for that, too, because I've been there. The women there, oh, my God.
What?
Oh, I know why they filmed Lord of the Rings there. They didn't even need to use makeup. Those women there, it was just it was the worst trip. I've toured New Zealand 3 times, and just every time. The last time I went is when I had my panic attacks, that started all my panic attacks, and I went, never again. I won't even... When we fly over it on the way to Australia, I
not because
out.
of New Zealand.
Yeah, but I just was miserable there.
Why? I've always heard, I'm being serious, that New Zealand's like the actual most beautiful place on
It is
Earth.
Gorgeous. It rains a lot.
So does Kauai, but people are piling into Hawaii.
Yeah, but it rains too much, and Kauai's got a lot of hot women.
What is it about the women in New Zealand?
I don't know. They all look like hobbits and trolls and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, Gollum.
I never heard this before.
Yeah. Trust me.
I've never heard
Whenever
anybody...
you see a hot woman in New Zealand, she's an Australian. Yeah. It's they're going to hate me for this, but I'm not coming back, so I don't care.
Yeah, kiss his ass, New Zealand.
Not coming back.
Everybody in Christchurch and...
I got a standing ovation in Christchurch, too.
Tell us about that.
No.
Why not?
I don't know, because it was the night... Weirdly, it was the night of the...
He said, I don't know why I'm not telling you that.
The other comics on the tour, when they knew I was freaking out on pot, told the audience... I showed up late to the show. They go, when Eddie gets on stage, just start laughing and tell him he looks high.
Oh.
It was terrible.
That's the biggest fear when you're high, is that other people know that you're high. Yeah. So my entire pot-smoking career, as soon as I was really high, I would walk into like a party or something and go, hey, man, what's up? I'm really high. Like I thought like I was disarming them.
He's Googling...
Vito Violante recording the podcast right now.
Women from New Zealand, and he's not seeing anything he likes.
Is that an actual thing? There's no New Zealand like models or athletes or like soccer ladies. A pregnant woman?
Yeah, they're Miss Universe.
Miss Universe is pregnant?
Yeah.
9 months. Miss Universe and child. Why? So you play New Zealand. This is what fascinates me about guys like you that do so much stand-up comedy overseas. Like, I went to Edmonton last month, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Like, I'm going.
You thought you liked playing that mall?
No, I played a big theater at River Creek Casino. It was cool.
That would be different and fun. I played the mall there. There's a comedy club in a mall in Edmonton, the biggest mall in the world. The Goonies boat is in the mall.
Really?
In the mall.
How did they get the Goonies boat?
I don't know. Everything. There's a roller coaster in the mall.
That sounds awful. And you're a negative prick.
No, I'm claustrophobic. I like to be outside. I'll never
me and
bitch about
Vito Violante is recording the podcast right now. And here's the thing. Me and Vito are looking at each other like, wow, Goonies boat in the mall. Now, that makes me...
Goonies boat out in the water in Oregon. Beautiful. Love it.
Rains too much in Oregon.
No.
You're just a negative prick.
I love Australia. You're not going to bitch about Australia, do you?
I'll get you to bitch about Australia.
I'm hypercritical.
Hypercritical about malls?
I don't like malls.
What do you want to be outside in the snow? It's fucking Edmonton.
Yeah,
City of Champions.
Don't have a country there. Don't have a city.
Don't have
Florida.
Hey, Edmonton, don't have a country there.
Take your city and move it to Florida or somewhere where there's better weather.
I'm learning right now, and I'm not even joking, Eddie Ifft would be the greatest state governor this country has ever seen. Hey, you know what? I don't give a shit. No more parking meters. Fucking turn your car upside down, asshole.
Yeah. I don't believe in parking meters. I told.
What do you mean? You don't believe in them? Like they don't exist? Like fairy tales?
I think
they're right there. I'm looking at one through the window.
You want. There's no reason for parking meters.
Well, the city needs that money.
Taxation without representation. It's stupid.
No, you are being represented. Your car's in the spot. That's representation.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's taxation without representation.
How do you figure that? Let's get into this.
Because I'm on a massive. Okay, here's what
I'll tell you: taxation without representation, death tax, estate tax.
Yeah,
you die. The money you saved after they took fucking 50% your whole life, then after you die, when your family inherits it, they fucking tax it again.
Yeah, that needs to happen because I know all these.
What do you mean that needs to happen?
I know all these trust fund kids, and they're a pain in the ass.
I'm not talking about trust fund kids that are card carrying assholes. Make no mistake about it. I'm talking about like if I die and I will my money to my wife and my sons and my sisters and my whatever,
they shall get a job.
They're gonna have to do a. My 3-year-old hey, you ever been to India? 3-year-olds are working on the regular, man, selling me chorizos outside my own venue.
Indonesia, the entire Indonesian Nike workforce makes less than Tiger Woods.
Is that true?
That's a stat.
That's a real stat.
Yeah, that's a stat.
All of them.
All of them put together made less than Tiger Woods.
So you did not. You had a lot of diarrhea in India.
A lot of diarrhea.
Diarrhea.
A lot of diarrhea.
Chan-ho Park, a little bit. Diarrhea. And New Zealand, you'll never go back. You had a pot panic attack, and you're saying the ugliest women on planet Earth are in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And you don't have anything bad to say about Australia, but Edmonton can fucking suck a dick because they have a mall there.
Yeah. If I was doing it,
not this, nothing bad happened. Just that they have a mall incensed you.
I landed in Edmonton, went for a run outside. Everyone was wearing masks, like the bird flu had just come to Edmonton. I get back, I call the club owner, I say, everyone's got a mask on. And they went, yeah, it's fire season. Like,
you're going to breathe in ash?
Yeah, I was breathing ash everywhere and I said, so it's probably not good that I went for a run. Oh, wow. You really? You went out and ran in the smoky air? I went, yeah.
But, what kind of idiot are you that you're running and you don't realize, wow, it kind of smells like burnt flesh around here. It smells charred.
It didn't smell like burnt flesh, Jay.
Didn't smell like smoke?
It smelled like smoke, but I don't know why you know why burnt flesh smells like.
Well, let's just say I got a crawl space and I know how to use it. Dress up like a clown.
It was just Edmonton. I don't hate. I had a good time.
I love Edmonton.
I just don't like being inside all the time. I like outdoor cities and
outdoor venues.
Yeah.
So you'll only play
I don't like outdoor venues.
You'll only play state fairs with the Bacon Brothers.
Me and Larry.
Larry,
the cable guy. He plays a lot of state fairs.
Who's that?
Larry the cable guy.
Oh, I thought you said Larry the keyboard guy. I was like,
5,000 seats every time.
Guy makes a ton of money. Nice guy. Very nice. Never heard anybody say anything bad about him.
No, he's a very nice guy. $17 million in merch alone one year.
Let me tell you something. Anybody, because you and I know comics, a lot of comics, they can't wait to throw shade on other comics.
Oh, yeah.
Well, like, he's really from fucking Nebraska or Florida.
It's
he's
a character he's doing.
And it's like, so what?
Yeah.
You know what I know? Once you hit 40, all I want to know is he nice? I remember once I was going through some battle on Twitter, and out of nowhere, Larry the Cable Guy tweets me like, man, don't sweat these people. Hey, he's just like, I read it as Mater from
Today I was
Cars.
looking for a feature act, and I Twittered a friend, or text a friend, and he was like, yeah, this guy's really funny. And my next question was, is he nice?
Yeah.
Because I just want to hang out with the dude. I hope he's funny and can do the job, but I just want a dude who I sit in the green room with and we get along really well.
And not smoke pot.
Yeah, I don't like smoke.
I'm trying to think of the highest I've been so high. Have you done acid in your life a lot?
No, I've been drugged. I did.
I'm sorry. Oh,
somebody slipped me ecstasy once.
Where and how?
It was a friend of mine. A friend of mine we went to go do an intervention. I went to do an intervention and he drugged me.
How? Open container? You just had a Diet Coke on the table and just put pills in?
I was with a bunch of buddies and we were skiing in New Hampshire and we were going to go to Boston like later that day and to go talk to him and say, you need to slow down on the bumps. You know, you're just shoving too much Coke up your nose. So we're driving back from New Hampshire and a giant snowstorm hits. So we end up late. And by the time we get to his house, he's throwing a party. And there's cocaine like Scarface would have at his house. I mean, just a mound of cocaine. And I walk in, I look at all the other guys that we're going to have the intervention with. I'm like, what are we going to do now? And the one guy goes, I guess we party.
It's fair. So, it's a fair point. Because what are you going to do? Like, turn off the music. Everybody out. We got to talk to this guy who's smiling and rubbing the wall because he smoked a Jeffrey.
The guy who's trying to eat his front teeth right now. So we have a pre-party there, and then we got to like a nightclub because that's what he would do then. And we're like, really? We're going to this fucking place? So we go.
In Boston.
We're in Boston. It was like the Roxy or something. I don't know what it was called.
They're all named that, aren't they?
But yeah. So I get a Coke and like Jack and Coke or something because I'm trying to get some caffeine in me. I'm so tired. And I'm so tired. And then I'm drinking this. And all his buddies keep coming up to me and handing me drugs. And I'm like, I don't need the drugs. I'm fine. But I felt like I could probably go sell these. I got enough drugs in my hand. So the next thing I know, I never dance. I don't like to dance. I'm a balloon popper. Next thing you know, I'm on the dance floor alone, dancing like I've never danced in my life. And I'm just like, this is the greatest time of my life. And I'm just dancing. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. and I look across the dance floor and I see one of my friends who also doesn't dance. And he's dancing. And we lock eyes and we come over to each other. And I'm like, I just can't stop dancing. And he's like, I can't either. And I'm like, this is amazing. And he's like, I think we were drugged. And then I went, and it just occurred to me. And then I see the guy we went to do the intervention, him and his girlfriend on the dance floor. And I go, hey, did you, well, he goes, how you feeling? I go, oh, did you drug me? And he goes, I didn't. His girlfriend drugged us. And I go, he goes, just enjoy it. Just go with it. Just go with it. And, all of a sudden the fun kind of stopped and the paranoia set in. And the next thing I know, I'm at home on Google, just trying to read everything that's going to happen to me if I ruin my sperm, you know, and I'm so paranoid because I just never liked drugs at all. And, the next day I'm like, why would you do that? He goes, hey, you were annoying.
Trying to have a good party, and you come in here with 8 people to have a goddamn intervention, blowing up my spot. Did you ever have the intervention? We'll find out next. Listen to this first.
I love these new razor blade companies that have the big corporate razors on the run. I'm using these Harry's blades, and they're pretty tight. You know, you go to a drugstore, you wait 10 minutes for someone to unlock the case where the razors are being held. You buy a 4-pack of blades, you get a little shaving cream. Next thing you know, you look in the bag, your receipts, it's like over $25. It's crazy. Look, here's the deal. You get the Harry's blades. They're half the price of all the competitors like Gillette and Bic. They're convenient. The ease of ordering online is great. How do you order online, JJ? Funny you should ask. Go to harrys.com. Harrys.com. Use the promo code MOHR, M-O-H-R, and save $5 off your first purchase. They're going to save you even more money. You just order online. Harry's, Harrys. Harrys.com. Use the promo code MOHR. Save $5 off your first purchase. Look, Harry's is less than 1 year old, is already disrupting the shaving industry, offering better shaving experience at better value than those giants like Schick and Gillette. Please, German-engineered blades. $15 gets you a set that includes a handle, 3 blades, and shave cream shipped to your door. Harry even offers a custom engrave option to engrave your initials on the razor. That's pretty damn cool. Harrys.com. Use the promo code MOHR, M-O-H-R. I'm going to say something that's going to surprise you, and that is you should be snacking more. You need to be snacking more. Hey, what's wrong with you, JJ? How can you tell me to snack more? I'm going to get fat. No, you're not going to get fat. Here's why. You know I'm on this like nature kick. I'm getting in shape. I'm getting in good shape. I feel good. I discovered naturebox.com. NatureBox gives me hundreds of delicious snacks, and I mean delicious. These things are great. And you don't feel guilty about eating them because they're better for you. They're natural, 0 trans fat, 0 high fructose corn syrup. You're even going to find snacks that are low on sugar, non-GMOs, and without gluten, and they ship them to you for free. You know that cranky moment around 3 in the afternoon where you want to tear into anything, even if it's hot garbage? Do what I do. Grab the peanut butter and jelly granola from NatureBox, or bake the sweet potato fries or sweet blueberry almonds. Yes, no more hungriness, no more crankiness, and you stay fit like me. I'm going to make you really happy. Go to naturebox.com/more, and you're going to get 50% off your first box. Just go to naturebox.com/more. You should be snacking, but you got to snack smarter. Do what I do. Stay full, stay strong. Do what I do. Go to naturebox.com/more. Get 50% off your first month's box. naturebox.com/more. That's naturebox.com/more. Making trips to the post office is becoming a thing of the past. You just don't need to do it anymore thanks to Stamps.com. You already know what going to the post office does to your body. It makes you achy and cranky. Ugh. Driving there, finding parking, waiting in line. But what you probably didn't know, you're paying more for postage there than you have to if you use Stamps.com. Stamps.com is the better way. Buy and print official U.S. postage for any letter, any package, right from your computer and printer, then just hand it to the mailman. With Stamps.com, you are going to get special postage discounts you can't even get at the post office on first class, priority mail, international, and more. Never go to the post office again. That's why I use Stamps.com. Use my last name if you want a special offer. More, M-O-H-R, plus $110 bonus offer that includes a digital scale and up to $55 free postage. Don't wait. Go to Stamps.com before you do anything else. Click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in more, M-O-H-R. Stamps.com. Enter more.
Geico presents Fan Mail to a Pig.
Dear Maxwell, I just want to say thank you for making my Geico Insurance ID card digital. It's easy to find on the app. It doesn't give me paper cuts, and I always have it on hand because it's on my phone. Because of this, I finally cleaned out my glove box, which was filled with years of paper ID cards. Any thought on what I should put in my glove box now? Sincerely, Trent Patterson. Trent, what can you put in the glove box? Here's a crazy thought. How about gloves?
Digital insurance ID cards, just a tap away on the Geico app.
All right. Did you ever actually consummate the intervention with your friend?
No, I saw him shit his pants one time in a
in
parking
India.
lot.
And a dog ate the shit. Hold on. I don't know if we really need to keep resetting.
Yeah,
Can you just go back? We'll get to the intervention in a second, and I want to talk about surprise highs, because I say on stage, there's no worse high than a surprise. Like like when you're at a Dodger game and your friend goes, "You didn't eat the whole cookie, did you?" And you're like, "What?"
Yeah, I've had that.
Fucking
I
cookies.
swear, I stood up one time high like that. I was having the greatest time sitting down. I stood up, and all of a sudden, I just turned around and looked at these two girls in Australia after I ate a pot cookie, and I went, "Make it stop. Make it whatever we have to do to stop this. It has to stop now.
You need to lay down and go to bed, Eddie."
And then the girls looked at each other and went, "Oh, no." And that scared me even more. They were like, "Oh, no." And I said, "Should I go to sleep?" And they were like, "You're not going to be able to." And I go, "Should I throw up?" They go, "You don't want to do that. It'll never stop." And I was like, "What? Should I eat something?" They're like, "No, you're going to speed it up." I go, "Can I yell?" They go, "Yeah, you'll bring the police." And I was like, "Can I run?" They go, "It's going to probably speed up your metabolism and make it go into your system." I was like, "I'm a prisoner."
You're a prisoner.
I just lost it.
And why don't you have the ability, because I don't either.
Yeah.
But why don't you have the ability to simply ride the snake and just go, "All right, I'm fucked up, let's roll"?
Because I think I have too much
Control.
of a creative mind, and I'm a control freak, and my mind starts catastrophizing and thinking of all the things that can go wrong.
Yeah. Like,
And,
what if this one ecstasy tablet, I know it takes fluid from my spine, so instead of just enjoying the Mercedes Friedrich, German media, instead of having a good time, you go, "Wait, right now fluid is leaving my spine.
Yeah.
What if I can't walk?"
Yeah,
Last time I did acid, I had that one thought that'll make you stop doing acid for the rest of your life. What if I stay this way?
Oh, that's what mine was on the pot cookie. I thought, I've gone crazy.
Pot, that's fucking minor
No.
league
I
drug
tell
stuff.
people, pot cookies are worth the bath salts. It's the worst feeling ever. I thought
a lot of listeners right now are like, "This guy's
what a pussy."
dick.
I've talked about this on so many shows. Weird thing is, I don't even smoke pot. They put me on Getting Doug with High. They put me at Tommy Chong's 420 show. Everybody has me on this pot stuff. I'm like, I think it's just to hear like the alternate. And
you and I saw the ultimate maybe Tommy Chong experience of all time.
When he had
we did our
diarrhea?
Showtime specials at the same time in that theater at San Bernardino.
Yeah.
And they had like 8-10 comics, and everybody was shooting a special over the course of like 2 or 3 days. And the air conditioning went out in the theater in San Bernardino. It was 100. You back me up.
120.
Easily.
120.
It was but you can't. I will never be able to explain to you how hot it was inside this 2,000-seat theater, this majestic, beautiful thing in the middle of fucking like Riverside, someplace weird in the Inland Empire. By the way, August 23rd, my birthday, I'm in the Ontario Improv. Come see me. Bring me gifts. Don't bring me fucking drugs.
But before that, you can come Friday night to the Improv.
This will air way after that.
Damn it!
Here's the deal.
When's this done? When is this done?
This will be up in a month.
Damn it! My what am I here
I
for?
only have 3 weeks to live.
My Kickstarter will have died.
Really?
I'm at 17,000. I need 50.
By when?
I've got about 20 more days.
Oh yeah, this won't be up by then.
What are you donating?
Nothing.
Binglebus.com.
I'll tweet. How about this? I'll tweet the shit out of it.
Okay.
Which
that's
means
not
one
working.
time.
Money works.
I'm not giving money so you can get a goddamn bus.
I'll have you on the bus. Ty Pennington gave $500.
Ty Pennington is a multi-millionaire because he goes to people's houses and says, "Put that couch over there."
I've seen your house, Jim.
That's a Gary Unmarried house. Gary Unmarried's no longer with us. The house stands.
Gary's
and goes,
now married.
Gary's now married, and that should the show gets canceled, the house goes into syndication. That house is the bane of my existence, the J. Moore compound.
Oh, I know the feeling. I just bought a house
in Malibu.
Between Malibu and Calabasas.
All right.
It's not Malibu.
And you're close. All right, so your Calabasas is like where the Kardashians live.
No, not that canyon.
You won't. I think the listener needs to know this.
I'm in the Poor People Canyon.
I think people need to know that Eddie Ifft will not say the words Kim Kardashian.
Won't say it.
You won't ever.
No, just like that woman that ran for vice president.
Sarah Palin.
Won't say it.
Why?
You give her power.
But she's really like she's the Candyman. She's going to appear.
No, but it's like I used to hear people talk about how they hated her. I hate her so much. I'm like,
who are you talking about now?
Stop fucking talking about her.
Which one?
Just either of them. If you don't talk about them, they don't exist. That's what they want. They want you to hate them.
You think Sarah Palin being spoken about on a podcast gives her power?
Yeah.
How?
Because you're putting her name out there.
Sarah Palin.
In America.
Sarah Palin.
In America.
Sarah Palin.
How do you win a campaign?
Money.
Name recognition.
Money and name recognition.
Yeah.
Yes.
97% of the candidates with the most money win.
Yes.
So they get the money buys them name recognition because Americans are stupid. So dumb.
So you don't even like Americans?
I don't like anyone.
You know what I do like? A guy taking his shit in the street and a dog eating the shit out of his
I saw
ass.
a baby in the street, just laying in the street. And I walked up to it. And I said to my wife, I go,
what country?
In India.
Okay.
Of course. I was like, should we take this? I mean, like, are we supposed to rescue this right now? I rescue dogs all the time. And I saw this baby and I'm like, I think we're supposed to rescue this baby now. And the guy with me goes, no. He goes, leave it. They're just trying to get money. I go, who, the baby? The baby's trying to get money? And he's like, no, you go up and you like pick up the baby and then the mother shows up and asks you for money for food. And I'm like, so they're baiting their baby? He's like, yeah. I'm like, God, I got to get the fuck out of here as soon as possible.
But first, give me my check.
Yeah, I wanted that check.
Would you go back to India to do stand-up comedy?
For the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to talk more about the guy shitting in the street and the dog eating the shit out of his ass.
Oh.
Here's why. It's so fucking amazing to me. I'm sorry. Is that the dog couldn't wait for the shit to hit the ground. And the dog couldn't wait for the guy to dogs and, human-dog relationship, very territorial. We are bipeds. They know that we got shit together. So, if I'm eating my dinner, for example, my dog will sit next to my chair and just kind of look at me.
Yeah.
The dog won't jump on the goddamn dining room table and eat off my plate because I'll smack the shit out of the dog or, reprimand it in some way. Or every once in a while, I'll just break a piece of my waffle off in the morning and I'll say waffle and I'll give it to my little tiny dog.
The one you like.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil the other two. There's a hierarchy, a caste system in my house with the little tiny dogs, the lady party that I have. But you're saying the guy took a shit in a dog.
They have dogs. They have dogs in the street the dogs are like squirrels. They have street dogs, they call them.
But why did the dog eat the shit out of the man's ass?
It's hungry. There's no food for the people. Why is there going to be food for the dogs?
But the dog couldn't even wait for the shit to hit the ground?
No, I was too hungry. Have you ever gone up to a soft serve and they let you backstage at a Dairy Queen? You put your head under there and pull the lever.
I've done that, but there wasn't a guy with pants attached to it. Now, the guy taking the shit, did he take umbrage to the fact there was a dog with its nose?
He didn't care. He was like, this will be clean.
Yeah.
You don't have to wipe if a dog's going to lick that out.
It really would be the greatest way to wipe if you could just train dogs to lick your asses. That is the funniest thing I've heard in a very long time. Because it started innocently enough.
I was doing a joke about it because how everybody in America says that there's a new kind of racism, I think, where it's like you build people up so that you can put down other people. Like people build up Indians so they put down Mexicans. They'll be like, well, the Indians did well. When they came to America, look at all the Indian population. They're all doctors. They're all doctors. But that's because the top 1% of India comes to America. You have to be so rich to come to America from India. So rich, so well-educated, everything. So they come. Of course they're doctors. I was like, I saw a guy in the street getting the dog eating shit out of his ass. That guy's never going to be a doctor. That guy will never be a doctor. I don't care. Never. Never, ever, ever. Never going to be a doctor.
That sentence will never not make me laugh out loud. I'll be fucking 90.
My wife saw it first.
Bag.
She's like, look at that.
And you're like, what? Is it an indigenous species? Yes. It's a man taking a shit in the street and a dog eating shit. How close was the dog's mouth? I'm obsessed with this.
It was like
simultaneous?
It was like human centipede. It was almost like it was sewn. The dog's mouth was sewn.
No, who eats the shit out of the dog's ass?
That's a good question. Probably another dog.
Smaller dog.
Probably another dog.
What are you guys looking at? We're trying to have a
He's
podcast.
Going on my Instagram photos. He's trying. I was
looking for the dog.
On at Eddie Ifft on Instagram.
There's the babies.
All right, babies.
Look at the kids.
All right, Eddie Ifft. This is a great Instagram account. I recommend it. At Eddie Ifft, IFFT. Right, here's the guy. One guy wearing a helmet, 4 kids and a wife. It's like the Chinese circus. Yeah.
You got to go to India. You got to go.
Yeah.
You got to go.
Sounds like a hoot. Let me get 40 inoculations first.
15
There's cows in the middle of the street. Before we went, someone told my wife, they're like, just one warning. If you're in a cab and they hit a cow, get out and run. And she's like, why? She's like, because the people are going to beat the cab driver to death. And because you're in the cab, they're going to beat you too.
Why are cows sacred in India?
I don't know.
They didn't like give you like a rundown of
I forget. I read
do's and don'ts.
The nice hotels you can get meat. You can eat.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the best. I love when people are so full of shit with their righteousness. Like PETA people, spokespeople for people, PETA, then you see them out on the red carpet wearing like a fucking leather jacket.
Yeah, I stayed in 5-star hotels that were the nicest hotels I've ever stayed in.
In India, yeah.
Yeah, it was in Bali. And every time we went in, the terrorism like you've never... airports, machine gun guys walking up to me going, papers. You just hand them your paper. I stayed, every hotel I stayed in, mirrors under the car as you pull in. It was, because Pakistan and India just have tons
They
of
hate each other.
Yeah.
They're fighting over Kashmir, the Led Zeppelin album.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's not an album, it's a song. That would have been perfect if I got it right.
That hotel, the Taj Mahal.
Can I do it? Can I have a take two?
Go ahead.
Yeah, they hate each other. They're fighting over Kashmir, the Zeppelin song. Yeah, it's not an album. That's why I got messed up.
I'm having fun on this episode. We did an episode you didn't air.
Yeah, because neither one of us were funny. We talked for 2 hours in my garage. Your wife was in the massage chair in Bliss.
Yeah.
At the Fake Mustache Studios.
Typical.
And why do you say that?
She gets all the perks.
Shouldn't she?
Yeah, I guess so.
A baby's about to come out of her vagina hole.
She tells me about that every fucking day.
As she should.
Every day.
Imagine
I'm making a baby.
Imagine a cherry seed came out your dick hole. Now multiply that by 100.
Yeah, I know. But like, at what point do you draw the line? Like, if she was like, I need a palace, like she's taking. I'm giving her a yard, but she's taking a football field.
I thought you meant like a backyard. Like, look, I gave her a fucking backyard. What do you want from me? I'm doing my husbandly duties. There's the grass. Now use the outdoor facilities.
If they had a pill.
I let a dog eat shit out of your ass.
If they had a pill that you could take, like that I could take, that lets me know what it's like to be pregnant, I would take it right now. I'd take it every day. Because
every day.
So that she couldn't say, you don't know what it feels like. I'd be like, I do now.
So you would rather go through the amazing discomfort of having a human being in your womb feeding off of you like a parasite than have compassion.
Yes. Yes.
Instead of just saying, you're right, I don't know what it's like. How about I massage your feet? You go, you know what? I'd rather fucking kill myself and have you watch me bleed out than hear another word of your blathering about, I have a baby in me. I created a miracle of life.
I'm giving, what I'm saying is you don't understand how much I'm giving. I am giving, but I'm trying to find out, like, a lot.
And by the way, I got to tell Vito.
How far do I give?
His wife is like, she's like the sweetest thing in the world. It's not like he married some like yakety cunt. Like, you, like, here's your fucking nut. Don't say their name. You give him power.
No, she's amazing, but I don't want, I'm just wondering, how far do I give?
But what is she asking of you?
Everything.
That's not true.
Yes, she is.
Like what?
No,
how pregnant is she?
She's
so pregnant.
She's so pregnant. I punched her once. No,
I went down on her and I was eating feet.
I felt like a dog.
See, this is why we didn't air the other one.
She's 18 weeks or 17 weeks or something like that.
She's not. She just got pregnant.
I know.
You literally just ejaculated inside another human being a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And she's yammering on and on about it. Wait till she's like 9 months.
I know.
You should say to her, you're like brand new pregnant. Maybe.
You understand I'm a very selfish person.
Do I understand that? Oh, yeah. That's what I'm hammering home here. At Eddie Ifft on Twitter, at Eddie Ifft on Instagram, at JMoore37 on Twitter, at JMoreSports on Instagram. There's a lot of like nice scenery photos on your Instagram. A lot of beach shots.
I mean, that's what keeps me. That's my happy place.
Beaches?
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah. Where do you have kids? It's the best because when you have boys, you take them to the beach. And when you were a kid, it was like this big goddamn production. Unless you grew up next to the ocean, like we had to drive an hour and a half to go to the Jersey Shore, and you had like the chairs, the towels.
Where'd
the
you go?
blankets.
What beach was yours?
My grandfather actually had a house in Bayville, so the closest beach would have been Seaside Heights, where they filmed Jersey Shore. And if anybody says, like, Jersey Shore, that's not a fair representation of Italian Americans in New Jersey, bullshit. I went to public school in New Jersey. That's exactly who beat the shit out of me every day.
Yeah.
Those were the guys.
I used to go to Wildwood, New Jersey.
That's right.
I say Avalon Stone Harbor, but we would, at 2 a.m. when the bars would close, we would go over the bridge to Wildwood, where the bars close at 5, and stay there till those closed. And it was
as a kid.
This is up till I was 24 years old. And it was, I've been arrested there so many times.
The Jersey Shore is amazing.
It's amazing.
Like, people shit on Jersey.
Beautiful beaches. Gorgeous. Some of the nicest beaches in the world.
But my wife brings up a very important point. New Jersey is the only state that you go, yeah, but there's, like, beautiful parts of it. Like, no one in Ohio goes like, yeah, but, that Cincinnati-Kentucky border right along the Ohio River, it's really pretty. They just go, it's fucking Ohio. I don't give a shit what you think about it.
You haven't been to Youngstown.
We're the only people here in Youngstown. We're the only ones, New Jerseyites, that feel like we have to defend it all the time. And
why?
It wasn't until I was married for a while and went back to New Jersey, left the Lincoln Tunnel, left George Washington Bridge, and drove through fucking shit for like 40 minutes, then hit the bucolic suburban place where I grew up, and I realized, oh, maybe it just is fucking shitty with little pockets of beauty.
No, it's not. It's because the majority of people that go to New Jersey, it's the New York. There's millions
That's all
of people
they
in
see.
New York, and they go into New Jersey, and right around New York, it's shit.
Yeah, like Giant Stadium. You're like,
it's shit.
A lot of weeds.
That's all they think. They
a lot of things buried out here.
Yeah, they don't get it. They don't drive down to South Jersey and find the nice stuff down there.
Yeah.
Like Wildwood.
How did we get on the topic of South Jersey?
5-cent drinks till
taking kids to the beaches.
Yeah. Kids to the beach.
When you have boys, you don't know yet?
We don't
18
know.
weeks.
I just want it to be healthy and black.
And what?
Black.
For the purpose of?
I'm out the door.
You finally, that's your get out of jail free card. Baby comes out, gives you the fucking fist.
Boom.
Wearing a black glove. Yeah. Juan Carlos, 1968 Olympics. You're like, sorry, see ya.
Yeah.
Jesus. See ya, Lamar.
Yeah.
Little baby Lamar Ifft.
Could be Lakeisha.
Lakeisha or Lamar. But when you have boys, you take them to the beach. My point was going to be, you don't have to bring.
If they're black, I'm not.
Anything. You just show up at the beach with your kids. Look, I've gone fishing with friends off the shore here, Will Rogers Beach.
Right.
And I'll just say to my son, like, hey, we need to make a rock pile. Look at that rock. I point, and that buys me 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Because boys are idiots. It's great. They'll just do whatever you tell them. Whereas a girl will be like, well, what are we doing? Like, what's happening? What's the deal? What's the thing? But, like, when you have little boys and go to the beach, literally just find a stick, dig in the dirt. It's the best time you'll
My
ever
kids
have.
will be surfing at 2. I'll have them on board. My dog surfs. You can look on my Instagram. My dog even surfs. I'm going to throw him on a
shit
board.
Out of your ass? I don't know why. That one was a little less funny that time than the other time.
I'm throwing my kids on a surfboard and just going, follow daddy.
You're not going to place them. You'll throw them.
They're getting thrown on it. And I'm going.
So you're already talking about multiple kids. So how about this? You just showed your hand.
Yeah.
Mr. fucking, my wife's making me nuts with the pregnancy, and I hope the kid's black so I can get out of the relationship because it won't be my kid. And then you're like, my kids, plural.
I'm locked in. It's a bait and switch. They nail you. My wife, when I met her, was this hippie, like, free for all. I want to live in Australia. And
let's swing. Let's have sex with other couples.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then it's a bait and switch. It's a trick. It's a giant scam they do. When you say I do, they should say ta-da. It was, it's, you're locked in. It starts with all the wedding bullshit. Then it goes into the house, and then the kid, and then the schools, and then you're a slave. You're a slave. I've been enslaved. I used to go on the road. I used to make a point. I tell my I only want to go twice a month. I will not do more than 2 dates a month. Now I'm like, are there 5 weeks in a month? I need to do 5 weeks of work this month.
So then you should go back to New Zealand.
We can't. We got families here that we have to go see all the time. I got to go see my family, her family, constantly back and forth.
What a hard life you have.
Yeah.
You have to see your family.
Our families are on the East Coast.
They're alive. I have to visit them.
You know what it's like flying with dogs?
Yeah. How many dogs do you have?
2.
And you rescue them all the time?
Yeah. I rescued a dog the other day. A guy was kicking a dog in the street.
Ugh,
and I hear a girl going, stop, I'm going to call the cops. And he's like, will you take it? And I came out, I'm like, dude, stop right now. I'm calling the cops. And he goes, you fucking take it. And I walked up to him and I grabbed his leash and walked away.
So it was his dog?
Took his dog from him.
What was the dog's name? Lucky.
The dog is now named Ginger.
Ginger?
Yeah, and Ginger is with one of my fans from my podcast.
The Wadcast.
No, from Talking Shit, the other one.
Oh, you're still doing it?
Still doing Talking Shit.
Okay, Talking Shit with...
And the Bingle Bus is starting soon.
What is Bingle Bus? And how do you get the name Bingle?
Bingle is what we called a fart when we were kids. We weren't allowed to say fart.
Why weren't you allowed to say
I'm
fart?
Catholic. What do you think is wrong with me? Wasn't allowed to say pee or poop. I had to say tinkle and big things.
Wait, what? What?
I had to say big things.
I have to
when
go
I would
do
take
big
a shit.
things?
I saw a dog eating big things out of an Indian's ass.
You would say to your, all right, hypothetically, you're at the dinner table and you have to excuse yourself to take a shit.
Yeah.
How does that go down in the Ifft household?
I'm sorry. Can I be excused? I've got to go do big things.
Casey Kasem, keep your feet on the ground and reach for the stars and do big things.
Yeah.
I sound like Chris Berman.
And my penis was my tinkler.
This would breed cynicism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember, this is a true story.
Your parents are still alive?
I know exactly where it was. Yeah. Powers Run Road, going up the hill. I don't know
what state?
If I had a boner. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Fox Chapel. And I said to my mother, hey, Mom, why does my tinkler get hard?
And what was her response?
It's because you're nervous.
Oh, how old were you?
And they wonder what's wrong with Catholicism.
How old were you?
I was probably 22.
Thank you, Eddie. Very well done. Bases loaded. Eddie F puts one to the wall. I dig it. Man. I remember my mom having like the birds and the bees talk with me.
I wish. Nothing.
My mom drank until I was 8. So she was like out to lunch. And we've talked about it.
I wish my mom did.
So when I was like 9, 10, she was like, had like a year, 2 years of sobriety. So she tried to like make up for lost time. And I remember Bradford Avenue and Pompton Avenue, there's an intersection in Cedar Grove, New Jersey, where she tries to explain all the birds and the bees to me. But at that time, we had already been playing fucking tummy sticks and like flicking each other's cocks like behind the garage and stuff. And we all knew, public school in New Jersey, the way to get pregnant is you pee in somebody's butt.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
We would actually
I remember
stick our dicks.
when Robert Ruger explained it to us all in St. Scholastica at the cafeteria table. He said, what happens is you put your penis into the girl's bumhole and then you pee. And we were all like, that's how it's made.
Yeah, and we were sure of it.
Yeah.
We would take our dicks and rub it against another guy's butt, and the guy would go, don't fucking pee in me. I'm serious. I'm 10. I can't have kids yet.
This is really warped.
Yeah. Don't pee in me. We did it all that, like, where I grew up was just a complete... Or you could talk. That's cool.
I just thought of something.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go. I don't give a shit. Go.
I remember when I started jerking off, I thought, don't let that get anywhere near your asshole or you'll get AIDS.
I thought I was going to throw up. That feeling right before you come. I thought it was like I was going to puke. I didn't know what it was. There was a shower at the public pool in Verona that had that like jet nozzle, and you could wash off, and you pull the little like those plastic fucking shower curtains, and I could just put my cock, like the bottom part where it's like shaped like a heart, if you're circumcised like a human being, and I would just like drill it, and I would just put loads down on the floor, and I was like 13, 12 years old, and like old men are like, oh, sorry, I know you're in here. I'm like, yeah, in a minute. I just got after it. Once I discovered that, forget it. How about this? What I was going to say earlier is where I don't know why, but where I grew up, the suburbia that I grew up in was an absolute, like, you touch my dick, I'll touch your dick. Like, it was just an unspoken thing.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
We would have sleepovers, bunk beds, guy in the top bunk would pull his pants down and lay face down. The guy in the bottom would put his feet on the mattress and push up and down to simulate. So if you walked in, there was like a runner board, so you couldn't see the guy's naked ass. So if a grown-up walked in, it just looked like you were like goofing off, like pushing the guy up and down, but you were trying to help him come. You would lay face down on the top bunk. Maybe not take your pants off, like, because you didn't want to get caught. Town. Maybe just take it out, or just weird kids that happen to be in the same town at the same time. So, like, you're in your pajamas, and you would get a boner in your pajamas, and you would lay face down,
right?
And you'd put your feet up on the
He'd
mattress.
make the vibrating bed for you.
No vibrating bed. You'd put like your feet up, and the guy'd be like, "No, you're too low. You're too low." Like, so you put your feet together exactly where his dick was, and you'd push up and down on the mattress, and the guy'd be like, "All right," and then you just switch it out, and you'd go on top.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think any town was like this.
I don't know. I don't think it was the town. I just think it was the lunatics that I had associated with. Well, you fucking went to India.
This just got really awkward.
Well, if I don't care. What the fuck? Vito just fucking crossed himself. I didn't call my dick a tinkle.
Did you have anything like this?
I didn't get boners because I was nervous.
You did? Where'd you grow up?
In Simi Valley, Agora Hills.
Yeah, you used to play tummy sticks and shit? Get a mic, sweetheart.
I'll say his name because I don't care, man. I'll put my name on it. Mike Simo and I back in the day.
I remember Mike. He sucked dick like a man.
But he was a big dude and I was a little dude. And we'd be watching Plastic Man? And we'd always go like, "Oh, Plaz, please," you know? And so he laid on me one time and we were simulating like we were doing shit. And then I flipped him over. We simulated. And then at that point I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be doing that. But my sister used to have dolls. And I would bang the dolls out. Like Barbie, I would crush Barbie.
But Barbie doesn't have a hole.
It didn't matter. I'd make one. Like between her legs. Oh, come on, man. I wasn't slinging back then. So, like, you know, her little legs, you put it between the legs, right?
But just touching Barbie with your penis was illicit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had all kinds of things like
that. Mr. Fucking, this got awkward. You're like, I didn't know we were fucking dolls.
I didn't do it with other dudes. I was doing it alone. Like I had a water bed, and I used to, like, figure out how to shape that thing into. I would make artificial vaginas all the time, pillows, whatever.
What's the weirdest thing you ever tried to jerk off with?
Geez, we had a whole like 2-hour-long episode of this on Talking Shit of the weirdest.
I wasn't there that day.
I'm trying to think of the weirdest thing I fucked. I tried to fuck the nozzle that came out of the bathtub.
I've done that.
I tried to put my dick in everything, I think.
But you don't fuck the nozzle.
I didn't stop until a year ago when I got married.
It's not the hole of the faucet that makes you ejaculate. It's the pressure of the water hitting that spot again. Yeah. Vacuum. Best thing ever invented.
Really?
When you got that long skinny dick back in the day. Not the hogs that we're all working with today, gentlemen.
Where has this show gone?
Into a great place. Somebody right now has got earbuds on a subway and everyone's staring at them, talking about you, Heather.
You have a lot more female listeners.
I guess.
What percentage of your listeners are female?
About 23, 22%.
We got 15.
15?
I'm surprised even 15 listen.
Maybe they're drawn to the absolute. You guys. First of all, Eddie Ifft goes, "This got uncomfortable." Like you've like jerked off homeless men on your podcast.
Yeah. Well, we had him. He jerked off a dog.
Yeah. But me fucking touching cranks with a kid I grew up with.
We had a jerk-off contest on our show. Jim and I jerked off and raced to see who could come. But we went to separate bedrooms.
That's no fun.
7 minutes.
We were fully clothed, by the way. Me and Simo.
You guys were fully clothed. But I don't understand the Plastic Man connection, giving you boners and feeling like you're having sex with each other.
Because Plaz could stretch it out.
What?
You figure Plastic Man was using his dick, to tickle his woman.
So you guys would act like you were Plastic Man, like, I'm going to lay on top. Oh, Plaz, please.
No, talking about all this stuff, this is a good question that I have for you, because I'm worried about my digital footprint, like, as I have kids now. Like, I got a kid on the web.
Search engine on your computer.
My nephew said to me.
Just make sure jmoore.com is up there and you hit that Amazon banner already.
I told my nephew the other day that my sister told me he was bullying a kid at school, and I told him he has to stop, and I was lecturing him. And he goes to me, "You need to stop saying SHIT all the time." And he's 7. And I go, "When have you ever heard me say that?" He goes, "YouTube." And I realized these guys are going to hear all my stories of jerk-off contests or the hot dog eating contest that we had. Or
is that code?
Do you know? You remember Farside?
Yeah.
I had Farside and Jason do a hot dog eating competition in honor of the, Brooklyn or the Coney
Nathan's,
Island. Yeah. except mine had a little twist. I made them do it with their shirts off on their knees watching gay porn.
I like it.
It was hilarious.
Who won?
Jason crushed Farside.
Because Farside couldn't stop giggling.
Yeah. No, they weren't giggling. They were going, because it was really the first time I've really watched gay porn. It's violent.
Violent?
Violent.
Why is Vito nodding? Like back when I was in that line of work, man, shit got real.
Violent.
I never saw violent gay porn before.
It was, I felt bad I'll never ask a girl for anal sex ever again. Ever. Ever. I mean, my wife, but girl, random.
During labor.
On the road. That's all over. That's kind of sad.
I was in Bert Kreischer's hotel room. We were on the road together, and he goes, let me just take a shower, and then we'll go to the show together. And I go, all right. And as a joke, I pull up pay-per-view in his...
Here we go. And because I don't really
ride
like
the
it.
snake.
And I'm the kind of guy that at a certain point, I look at the person that gave it to me, and I go, make it stop now. We have to stop this.
Do you remember what you guys spoke about?
No, and all I remember is thinking so paranoid. I'm like, no, I'm not funny.
Sorry, I'm real quick. No, I just an emphatic no clue.
I was the whole time I was upset because I felt like I was in my own world and people were staring at me, and I was holding my breath. I didn't realize somebody wrote in there like, you need to breathe.
People are tweeting you how to be high better.
Yeah.
Bro, you need to breathe. You're doing yoga.
So then I went home and I wanted it to stop and it wouldn't stop. So I went surfing, thinking I surf with a bunch of potheads and they always surf high. And I'm like, maybe it'll be enjoyable or it'll wear off. Because I used to run when I was drunk to get rid of my drunk feelings. And I go surfing. Sure enough, I hit my head on the bottom of the ocean. And now I got these horrible back pains.
So you surfed baked, which most people would think would be like paradise. Like if I'm going to go surf, I would think smoking pot and surfing would be the absolute
but it threw off all my timing, So I was surfing a quick wave, and it was like I couldn't. It was just imagine if you don't get high and you do stand up high. I did it once. Chappelle and I got high way back when. He took me in the back room of the Carolines. Remember the fire escape? I got high. I went out on stage. And I bombed like I'd never bombed in my life. I was doing segues. I wouldn't finish the joke. I would move on to the next segue because I was like, this isn't going to work. And then Chappelle just smashed it. And I asked him afterwards, I'm like, how do you do that? And he's like, lots of practice.
Lots of practice, man.
Yeah.
I got high at the Tempe Improv. There was that upstairs.
Which one?
Tempe Improv.
Yeah.
There was an upstairs dressing room.
The one you're not allowed to drink on stage? You know that law?
That's a new owner, and that's a very good point. It went out of business, and the guy actually went missing.
Oh, that was creepy.
Yeah, it was very creepy. But it used to be a place where you could just drink your balls off and smoke a ton of pot in the green room. And there was this little James Brown doll where you press the button and it goes, I feel good, and it dances, and you would set it next to somebody so that when it ended, James Brown would turn his head and look at the person baked, and they're like, wow, this is the most amazing green room ever. And we smoked pot, and there were two major leaguers. They don't play anymore, so I can drop their name. It was Jeff Jenkins and Richie Sexton, and we're all smoking from the Brewers, and we're smoking pot. But I remember I was so paranoid that these guys were going to get busted for pot in Major League Baseball that when I hit the joint, I would set it down in the ashtray because I was never going to have them be able to say, he handed it to me.
Right.
So, like, if you want it, it's there, but I'm not going to actually hand you the joint.
Because you were that paranoid.
I was that paranoid already. So we get super baked, and I go on stage way fucking too high to do stand-up comedy. And I remembered it at the moment I hit the stage. Before you hit the stage, you get that panic, like, how am I supposed to talk for an hour? I'm so high. So I realized none of my bits, like you said, the timing was so completely off. And what I did was I made believe I was on Broadway. And
you're doing a show where you had to pace yourself and
and I just
lines.
told stories about my childhood. And I got a standing ovation. I still have no idea what I said.
Maybe you should do that all the time.
Yeah, I don't think that would probably work well.
Jim Jeffries and I used to talk about it, where we said that some of our best shows were drunk, like shit-faced drunk. I have done shows that I'm most proud of. Like, where the roof went off the place, where I did things I never would have. Because all your inhibitions go away.
Yeah.
And you say things you never say. You do things you never do. And I try not to do that. Like, I probably will have like one drink a night now, but some of those shows, and maybe it was just I believed it was going that well. That's probably how it was, seeing where my career is. But
well, no, I think your career is going well because you're one of the few guys that go to Australia and make like $1 million being in Australia for 30 days. I once had a psychic on the podcast, Bill Phillips, and he said to me, "What's the thing with you in Australia?" And he just kept coming back to Australia. I'm like, "Bro, I'm not going to Australia." He was right on everything else he hit.
You will. You got to keep eye contact. And
yeah, well, that's rule number one of a circle jerk. If you have a circle jerk and you're not keeping
wad that you should know.
If you're not keeping eye contact, you're not in a circle jerk. You must maintain eye contact with the man sitting directly across from you in a circle jerk. Don't turn your head. That's how accidents happen. That's how you lose an eye. What does WAD stand for?
Workout of the day.
Workout of the day. And you have a WADcast podcast.
Yes.
So do you do how often is the podcast
Once
up?
a week.
So you do a workout of the day once every 7 days?
No, we bring on top CrossFit professionals and talk to them and kind of make fun of them.
I'll be a balloon popper.
Yeah, come on.
This sounds like the boringest thing I could possibly listen to.
Probably.
What makes it
If you're into CrossFit. If you don't like CrossFit, don't listen to the show. You have to like CrossFit.
We were talking earlier about how to get certain drugs out of your system. And Eddie Ifft, you were like an encyclopedia of how to get everything out of your system. I said, well, how do you get like pot out of your system? And Eddie goes, I'll have an answer for you in 1 minute. He texts a friend. Read that text.
Here, if you need to get pot out of your system, here's how you do it.
This is
Apparently.
fantastic.
Let's find out. Write to me if I'm wrong. But niacin. Have to take with food and drink a ton of water or you'll feel like you will spontaneously combust. And then he said, for you, amigo? And he said, when you get time, give me a buzz. I'm free at 2.
So you text him because I asked you just off the cuff, like, how do people like get pot out of their system? You text this friend of yours who will remain anonymous, but he's a world-class athlete, and then he texts you back. He now thinks that you have to get pot out of your system for some comedian job. Like
but I did smoke pot last week, and I don't need to get it out of my system. I don't smoke ever, and I did getting Doug with High, that show.
Yeah.
And it was horrible. I had a panic attack in the middle of it.
Yeah, because there's a crowd sitting right there.
No, there's people watching, like executives.
This is Doug Benson's podcast where you smoke a joint and then you just sit there and you have the whole podcast when you're baked out of your face.
And everybody's watching.
It's a great concept, but I always thought the fatal flaw of the podcast was you should get high if you're smoking during it. I don't get high until the drive home when my world's caving in on me.
I got high instantly. It took 5 seconds after I took a hit and I went, oh.
This episode of More Stories is sponsored by Nature Box. Order great tasting healthy snacks right to your door. Forget the vending machine and get in shape for summer with healthy, delicious treats like everything bagel sticks. Support this podcast and get 50% off your first month. Go to naturebox.com/more. That's naturebox.com/more.
Hello, podcast fans. Adam Carolla here. I'm leading the fight against patent trolls who are threatening this medium. It's not about me. It's about the podcast you're listening to right now. If I go down, this show could be next. Visit fundanything.com/patent troll for more information on how you can keep podcasting alive. Thank you and mahalo.
When shopping for car insurance, consider this. Geico has been saving people money on car insurance for over 75 years. So if you're serious about savings, it's simple. Go to geico.com. After 75 years, they know how to save you money.
Put your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
Well, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
How the fuck you gonna know how to be great if you don't study greatness? Look at the game tape.
Donuts. If you want a battle, it's either that you will or you won't.
You know, you're not a bad-looking man, Mr. Gals.
But you are, Blanche. You are in that chair.
There's something wrong with us. Something very, very wrong with us.
Hey, man.
Shall we?
Welcome to Jay Mohr Stories.
More.
We're going to do more stories from Jay, and Eddie's going to listen.
Eddie Ifft is the guest on More Stories, and he's out of breath because he decided to use his time in the Fake Mustache Studios doing some kettlebells and didn't realize he was going to have to talk for an hour afterwards.
I'm better. I'm recovered.
You got quick recovery time.
Yeah.
Well done, sir.
It's the HGH.
What was that exercise you were doing, Ed?
Those were just kettlebell snatches.
Snatch.
Well,
you called it something with Turkish in the title.
Oh, no, there's a Turkish get-up. Those are hard.
Turkish get-up. These all sound like gay movies.
Yeah, they are.
Kettlebell snatch, Turkish get-up.
It's the most homoerotic thing in the world.
You get another guy to just rub tanning lotion all over your body.
Look at another guy's body and tell them how good it is.
Or poor. Or what he needs to work on.
Yeah.
I like you, but your pecs, they didn't really turn me on.
Feel the muscles. This is where it needs to be.
Yeah, why don't? That's a good point, though. On those like Mr. USA, Mr. Olympia stuff, why don't they actually go up and like feel the muscles?
It's a good point, because I guess if they look like that, they're tight. It's all aesthetics. Those guys aren't about strength.
They're not?
No, they are strong as hell. If you're that big, and that bulky, you're strong as hell. Those guys are monsters. They have no mobility.
Yeah, they're structurally unsound, I think. I think FEMA would shut them down. It's not a good building.
Right. It's not healthy. Life's not going to be good.
Eddie Ifft is healthy. You're like a crazy cross trainer. You have the Wadcast podcast, which is the Wadcast, and that's all about cross training. I didn't know what WAD was. What's it stand
originally,
for?
I've been doing that culty stuff, CrossFit for like 5 years or something. And originally it was like a cynical look at CrossFit. It was just me. The guy on the show that I do it with calls me a balloon popper, which I really like because I'm too cynical. And but it's turned in, the show's developed so much, it's really turned into like a rah CrossFit show. So I still come on and kind of pop the balloons.
What balloons do you pop? What do you mean? Like
I don't know. It's just I don't like when people get all too into something. It's a very obsessive compulsive sport. People that are just freaks. And so, they all follow these rules. Do you know, you don't know about it? It's weird. Like guys take their shirts off to work out. The whole class will take their shirts off and work out together.
Sounds hot.
Yeah, exactly.
What does WAD stand?
And then the circle jerk, and you